All right, now, I think I told you earlier, that I had a lot of cars. From the time I was 17 years old, okay, I got my license at 17, till the time I graduated college, which is 5 years. I had not even not even a full 5 years, because I didn't get my license till May of, my junior year. Anyway, I had 10 cars. Now you can imagine some of these cars were pretty bad. In fact, get this, my 10th car, okay, I spent $350 for my 10th car. That car, okay? For the first 9 cars that I had, total cost $250 for the whole 9. Not for one, for the whole 9. So I went crazy and bought this 57 Chevy for $350. Man, I had a good job at the time. Well, summer job, but I made a lot of money that summer. I'll get to that one when we're talking about some of my stories. Anyway, so you can imagine some of these cars are in pretty bad shape. So what happened was, and I think I mentioned this before, the law in New Jersey used to be that the guys who had these junkyards could burn out a car. They would take all the parts that people wanted and stuff like that. But then the upholstery, the seats, and all that stuff. They wanted to sell the car to scrap iron guys, and they used to just take gasoline, pour it in the car, and light it on fire. Well, then they changed the law. Said, hey, you can't do it anymore, pollution and all that stuff. You can't. You have to take the car apart, take that fiber out of there, or material out of there. So, or let the sheet metal guy do it, which he didn't want to do that either. So then they started charging for cars, like $15, to bring a car back. So anyway, so people started to just leave cars in the backyard if they had a big enough piece of property or something like that. They just forget them, and they wouldn't take them to the junkyard. And I ended up buying a lot of those beat up old cars sitting out there. Anyway, but a lot of the cars were close, not went too far away. Because when I bought the car, don't forget, a lot of times I bought that car on weekends coming home from school. So I didn't, no insurance, no nothing. I would call and leave a message for Marston, the insurance guy, and tell him, here's the new car I just got, put it on my insurance policy. I didn't register or nothing, man, because it was on a weekend. So anyway, you can get away. Anyway, I go, so I get this offer from a guy, and he says, hey, I got a car. And he said, it was by my standards, it's a pretty nice car. It was a 53 Buick. Okay. And this is in maybe, let's say I'm a sophomore, junior in college. So it's maybe 1959 or something like that. So it's a 53, pretty nice. Holy crow. I'm in the 40s for most of my cars, 51, 40. So I go, we're going to pick up the car, but it's 40 miles away. It's in Hackettstown. So 40 miles, holy crow. So we're trying to think about, like, you can't drive a car 40 miles, no place, no nothing, right? So we said, I was going to at least switch the place on my other car, you know what I mean? So we go, all right, we cook up this scheme, and we did this 3 or 4 times. If you tow a car, well, you're towing it, driving it, right? So we get underfoot a clothesline, a cotton clothesline. We tie the clothesline to the one car. Jimmy would drive that car. I would drive the car I just got. And all I had to do, we didn't want to go too fast, man, because we only had 100 feet. Less than 100 by the time we tied it all up. And that's, but we had that's how we would drive the cars home. We would drive out there, get the car, and I'd get in the car. We'd have to jump start it usually to get it started. Battery hadn't been, or we'd bring a battery out sometimes to get the car started. We get it started, and then we drive it back, home, and he'd drive, and I'd be in the back. And if we said we got stopped, we just tell the police we were towing the car back. Of course, if he asked us to say, let's see you tow it the next, 200 feet, the line would have broken probably in an instant. But that was our excuse for taking cars home. So this car, though, Wow, there was something wrong with it. It had a stabilizer or something was missing in the back. And that car just swung. The back of that car swung all over the road. It was a treacherous trip home with that son of a gun. But anyway, but that was how what we concocted. That was a legitimate way to get the cars home, and we did it. We did it probably, as I said, about 4 times out of the 10 cars. We probably used that to get the cars home. Anyway, a little way we got around some of the laws.